All right, folks.
Time for a lighthearted conversation.
That is a
on the Partlodian podcast.
Dude, that song is like I said. We were talking about it. It's like, yeah, I don't know what that means. I can barely understand what they're saying if they're even speaking English. I don't know at all. But you hear it in a lot of stuff where it's supposed to be serious or scary or something like that.
Jackass and Ren and Stimpy come to mind. I believe it was in an episode of Ren and Stimpy. Wouldn't surprise me.
But
Jackass is definite, though.
But yeah, so you
get you pumped up.
You fell asleep listening to a particular documentary, and it brought about the conversation we're going to be trying to have this evening.
Yeah, I started reading about CERN, and then I put on a documentary about CERN, and it was pretty out there. And I'd heard stuff about it. I dove more into it, and it's really weird.
Yeah, I know that it's got the Hadron Collider. And I don't know exactly what that is, but every single time I've heard people talking about it, I lost them completely. But then you'd see like these articles every once in a while. You know, you're flipping through Google and it says, the Hadron Collider at CERN could be, responsible for accidentally opening up a black hole. And it's like, oh, man,
It sounds like there could be multiple ones out there, too.
What, Hadron Collider?
Or stuff, or just things that are so fucking deep that it's weird. Like, I think even they got the ones they build, but then there's, like, actual holes in the fucking earth that they talk about that have to do with some of that shit, and they build shit around it. I believe that's one of the reasons why the Antarctica is so secured by all these countries, a lot of whom hate each other, and regular people can't go there.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
But CERN is specifically in Geneva.
I've seen some JRE clips about people who went to Antarctica, and it's just like, yeah, all these major countries have base camps there, and yeah, you can't fuck around. Very interesting. What's there? Is it the scratched? Is it the crashed space shuttle? Is it the thing? Or is it like, is it Aliens versus Predator?
Well, it does make you wonder more about portals and stuff that could be out there. And CERN, I know CERN sounds like ones where it's like they're trying to create one. Almost like Stargate. Stargate's a couple of the documentaries I had checked out, they'd reference Stargate. And there's other movies that kind of make fun of it. There's even one of the Lego movies made fun of that. Dude's building the Legos and builds a portal. But that's like a real thing that they say people have tried to do. Or
that's like
done.
That was the whole thing. Like the whole storyline behind Doom. We to create like fast travel between Earth and Mars, we had this portal technology, but somehow the portal technology was based on like an ancient alien race that was on Mars. And then you found out that, yeah, Mars made a portal, but it was a portal to fucking hell. And we used the portal technology to jump back and forth between Mars and Earth. But then some crazy fucking doctor decided to start like letting demons in or something. I can't remember the exact storyline, but that's kind of
the story. It's like Dimension X, man. And Krang and the Technodrome and shit.
And
then somehow they get through and end up underneath New York City in a tunnel.
Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe this might...
It's all over the place, man. It's new shit.
Well, this is the thing.
Man.
This might kind of ease us into the other conversation that we were talking about. The one you think that we need to do a little bit more studying on, I think we should jump into it completely uninformed because that's where it's funniest. But no, it's very funny you mentioned that. Because...
Nobody comments, but if somebody listens to this and knows better, please tell us how fucking dumb we are and we can argue.
Yeah, and
or enlighten us.
And make no effort to correct ourselves or change the record.
It's weird with a lot of these so-called portals, though, that the evil shit.
Well, yeah,
Sheba.
Well, yeah, well that's just it though. You know, you hear all this stuff. It's kind of like, it's not like we have a portal to whatever. It's like, hey, there could be these things on Earth that could make portals, right? I was talking to Rick about, I forget if they call it Virus X or Variant X or Disease
I've been hearing
X.
about that one now too.
Yeah, well,
apparently they're already working on the vaccine.
Well, that's one of the things though. I first started hearing about it on BitChute and the conspiracy theory channels, and it's like, okay, you know, Mike Pence is a doppelganger, and this, and that, and the other. It's all this stupid shit. But no, I've seen it. I've seen the Disease X thing start to seep into the mainstream media, and it just happens kind of slowly. And then Rick starts watching these videos and showing me some videos, and he was like, dude, it's almost like they're like just trying to like show us things before they happen. I was like, yeah, dude, there's a lot of videos about that. There are other conspiracy theory videos, but about how in order to maybe ease the blow of a horrific event,
dude, whether people like it or not, they did that before COVID.
Dude, Alex Jones had a thing that said that like the American government was trying to do that to us before 9/11, kind of giving us these small tastes, like what if this happened? And then of course there was the stuff during the Clinton administration where they tried to do it, and it's like it kind of eases the blow for the normies when something serious happens, whether by accident, wink, wink, or not. But
not to go down this bleak road, they're kind of doing it with the World War III shit.
Exactly. It's another example of that. This,
hey, you know, there's a chance this might happen, and we all need to be ready.
I want to say that it was called program
for things.
I wanted to say that it was called program compliance.
Yes,
you get little tastes of it over a shorter or a longer span of time, and then it's not such a shock to you when it finally happens. It's like yeah, maybe there are some guys in Antarctica, maybe there is a spaceship up there. I mean, shit, dude, they talked about aliens on Fox News last year. The government knows aliens are real.
Dude, it all
and then
makes
they just
sense.
ignored it. They stopped talking about it.
But back to some of that first shit, it makes sense with some of that shit. The reports of spaceships coming out of the fucking ocean.
Oh, that Tic Tac.
Yeah,
that Tic Tac.
People
video?
don't want to hear the dude's name. Most people have probably forgotten him at this point, even though he was one of the originals. Bill Cooper talked about that kind of stuff. He documented it in Behold a Pale Horse, you know. And I thought some of this shit was batshit crazy, even though he had lots of other shit he made sense about. But that stuff, it was like, whoa, it was just so much to take in. But now you see images and hear reports of, I was like, out of the ocean. I was like, I went back and was reading that book, some of those parts about UFOs. And I was like, oh crap, this totally makes sense. And he was told, he was in the Navy when he saw it. You could totally see that happening. What's that?
In the Bill Cooper book, he starts talking about the aliens towards the end of the book, right?
It might be multiple points in the book. I'd have to look through it. I got it on my shelf.
I wanted to think, because I listened to it too. I had it on audio book. I like swiped it off YouTube years ago.
I love the cover. I'd totally get a tapestry.
There's a couple of different covers. The one that your book cover looks really cool, but there's a couple of other ones. But
but that was the part that I couldn't relate. There was a lot of other shit that was like, holy fuck, makes sense.
And that's why I was thinking, I remember when I listened to that book, the alien stuff, the real heavy alien stuff, comes towards the end. And that's another kind of thing of program compliance. You listen to his book, and all the other things are based in reality. They're very real. They seem reasonable. Some of them are even based on things you can see in the news and media and your life with your very own eyes. And you hear all this shit through the first, what is it, a 3-hour, 4-hour audio book. It's a short book in terms of time, I believe. And then, okay, yeah, that sounds believable. Man, this guy's making some good points. And then he starts talking about the aliens all the way at the end. And maybe it's real. Maybe it isn't.
Well, what also makes you think with that, and it goes back to what you brought up about program compliance, they ease you into shit, is our government getting more open about talking about that shit, and all of a sudden more whistleblowers, people talking about seeing shit, and a lot of them saw the same shit Bill Cooper described, even though he was called batshit crazy, but it was 30, 40 years ago when he talked about it.
Yeah, well, and I mean,
And he even took pictures, I believe, off of his superior's desk, like of classified reports of some of the shit. I believe some of it's in that book. But of course, people dumb it down and think he's crazy. And sometimes some of them people, when they learn so much shit, they come off as crazy because it probably fucks with their head.
well, yeah, well, imagine, right? Imagine that. Well, you don't have to imagine it. You can see people who tell you all the time, right? People go to church every day. They believe in God. They believe, but man, this is a line from Constantine too, which is it's a cool line. But imagine if, like, okay, you believe in God. Imagine if you know without a shadow of a doubt, God's real. Comes down and like changes the grass, to purple and the sky to red just for a second. You know it's God. You know for a fact it's God. It's like it will blow your mind. To know instead of just believing. And then of course there are some people who are like, I know God speaks to me. Okay, cool. Can you ask him specific questions? Can you get specific answers? Well, no. He doesn't talk to me, but I talk to him and I believe he listens. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. Ask him to make you a glass of water. And then a glass of water appears. If a fucking glass of water floated in here, landed on the table. Okay, I'll go to church on Sunday. We'd probably both flip the fuck out. Probably pick up our cameras.
Yeah.
Because that's what we are now. See something awful happening. Don't help. Hold your camera out. Film it. This is going to look great on YouTube.
Hold still. I know you're bleeding.
Stop nudging me. My camera's all shaky.
Not you, dumbass.
But weren't you saying something else about the CERN facility though?
The rituals they have and the dances they do, that shit was crazy as fuck, man. I mean, on top of the fact that they have it, outside the facility for it, they were given a statue of Sheba that they display in front of the facility, which makes it seem a little off because it's Sheba. I believe it's Sheba. I'll have to look it up again.
Sheba.
Doing the dance of destruction,
Mm-hmm.
I believe is what it is. And that is like one of the things that's where Stargate gets its thing, the whole sphere thing, like they're trying to open a portal or something. But it's almost like they have these people coming out doing all these crazy dances.
Now, see, I never heard about that.
And then there's like these
it was
people
just
dressed up almost like kids doing these like weird patterns and dances coming out. They were supposed to portray minors or kids. It was weird. And then you had the guy in the goat costume coming out. Really, I mean, these fucking huge horns and stuff and doing like these crazy hand symbols and shit like that as he's dancing around them all.
He was doing the one hand
only
up
waving the arms all around.
Oh,
it was just
okay,
all over the place.
Well, 'cause
there were
there's
some
the-
other one. I didn't get all the dancing with it. And a lot of these people, it just makes you...
Are these people connected with the facility?
Yes, some of them are scientists that are being a part of it, or they held a festival and had this huge fucking screen set up and a stage on one of the things they did. They did the rituals at the fucking facility. That's what blew my mind.
Damn, that seems like some fucking Bohemian Grove stuff right in plain
Yeah, dude,
sight.
Eyes Wide Shut or some shit.
Man, but
It was weird, and it's odd because it's a lot of people that are scientists that'll say they're atheists or go that route, but then they're doing these off-the-wall rituals, and it's... If you're atheist, you wouldn't believe in any of that. Or do you just not want to say you're into shit that's supposed to be evil? But even though there are a lot of people that say Christianity's evil or other religions are evil, and it's all over the place. And I believe a lot of them are, at least, organized religion. I mean, everybody always says Jesus said, don't trust organized religion. Don't mean to bring Jesus up. I heard that doesn't... Nobody's gonna be offended by that. He was a dude.
he was a man. Oh, whoa.
He liked to pick up that whip.
Okay, I know that this is probably somebody just doing some. It shows what looks like I don't know what this machine looks like. It looks like the statue of Shiba inside of like a jet engine.
That's just an image. That's not it.
But no, like this shows the building. Did this show up in the documentary? This big like beach ball?
That was one of them, yes.
I want to know what that ribbon symbol is right there. It means something. You know that means something. But that was one of the other things that we started getting into a conversation about, man. Because you mentioned the Shiba statue, and then like there's, I mean, come on, dude, what was it? Oh man, there was that statue. I forgot where they put it. It was supposed to be for like, was it supposed to be for Black History Month? But it looked like a big fucking dong.
Because it's in Geneva is where the main thing is. Look, here's another. It's a big sphere. You can see it around the area right there. Literally, that's one of the big layouts. That's not the actual one inside the facility. Yeah, dude, they have a layout to where it's supposed to take up a whole area like that. I forget the actual size of it. It's fucking insane, man.
But it's like circles within circles. I don't like any.
It's like they're doing it's shit that the scientists are trying to do. It's weird to open portals. It's fucking insane.
But yeah, that was one of the things you wanted to get into, though. You know, you're talking about these scientists.
Look at their logo. You already know what that means. You notice the number intertwined?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
That's their logo.
Yes. And that's the statue in front of the place.
I know it's in Switzerland, and I know Switzerland was neutral, but it's like...
That's the statue they were given by India.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's
right in front of the building.
That's a popular image. In Indian,
it is, but that's the this is like the actual statue.
But what I mean is in India, that image of her in that big circle, that's a popular image representation of Shiba.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't realize till just now that was the logo for it.
So you just now looked that up. Okay,
I mean that is their official logo.
Yeah, but for the folks at home,
didn't show it in these documentaries. I just started diving down this hole. That makes it even freakier, though.
But
man.
for the folks at home, look up the CERN logo. It's
CERN Switzerland logo.
It
shows it.
Well, you type in CERN, CERN. There's only one CERN.
It is, but
it's three sixes intertwined. That's fucking bananas.
That's their flag too. It's on their flag.
Of course it would be. Why wouldn't it be?
That's weird, man.
Okay, well, see now.
This is one of the internals of the ones that they're building.
Yeah, I've seen.
That looks like some shit out of Spider-Man 2,
dude,
man.
It looks like the fucking inside of the Death Star, where they have to fucking shoot the photon fucking missiles or whatever.
Fucking insane, man.
All right, well. Now that that's one I never even looked that up, but we were talking about symbols.
I can't even remember what I was watching or reading last night, and CERN was brought up by a commenter, and a few things were said, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I pulled some of this stuff up. I was like, "Holy shit!" I mean, they were talking to the scientists and stuff. It's not like it was some undercover shit. This shit's right out in the open. I just find it crazy. Well, let me see if I can find some stuff about the dance.
Well, dude, I'm looking up these symbols here. The Apple App Store looks just like the Masonic square and compass, just missing a letter in the middle. Gmail looks like the Masonic Royal Arch apron. I've never even seen that as a symbol. Facebook, Masonic tubal cane. That's stretching it a little bit. The Google Chrome image, Divine King sign 666. Yeah, you know what? This is CERN's logo, just a little bit more stretched out. The Divine King, right there. That's just 3 6s that are overlapped and turned a little bit.
It's exactly what it is.
And the same thing is like basically that's Chrome's logo as well. Dude. That's fucking bananas. Now you know what you're going to do? You're going to start looking for that weird ass image in all kinds of stuff.
Dude, it's when I had somebody at work point out in the NASA logo, there's this weird swoosh, and it's apparently supposed to represent a serpent. And then Iran, Korea, all these other their versions of NASA have this swoosh that the way it's done, it's apparently supposed to represent a serpent. I don't know why.
I could see it.
I was
I
like,
could see it. No, 'cause
really?
you asked
and then
me about that.
I looked into it after he brought it up, and this is a dude I would disagree with a lot, but he had an open mind, and we'd throw things back and forth, and I was like, holy crap, man!
No, that was one of the things you had just mentioned, the NASA logo, and I'm looking at it, and you look at it, and you take it at face value. If this was an original picture, an original design, fine. But if you can go back in history and find designs that look way too similar to that and connect them to fucking this weird ass Satanism stuff, I mean, come on, dude. You can say what you want about coincidences or conspiracy theories. Dude, the Washington Monument, it's a giant fucking obelisk. You can look at you can, I don't even have to, hey, prove me wrong. Hey, look up DC, satellite view of DC.
Oh yeah, dude.
You'll
the
see,
roads and stuff.
You'll see pentagrams and fucking hexagrams and all kinds of shit in the fucking layout of the city. I don't know what other cities have that kind of a layout. I really don't.
That one was drawn up specifically that way.
And don't like certain points of the fucking pentagram point to certain areas, like is the tip of it at the fucking monument, and then like the other part is, I can't remember exactly what it was. It's been forever since
geometry and numbers in general have a whole shitload of meaning in a lot of this.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, dude, you got to get on the lines of power. That's where apparently the devil's at, like the intersecting lines of latitude and longitude. That's just on our that's just on our humble planet. You also got to line it up with the stars and the cosmos.
And there's people that are deep in this stuff, and this includes the religions, and they talk about prophecies and stuff, shit happening at a certain time. And I'm sorry, they got numbers so programmed in their head, and they have so much power and coordinate with so many people. It's almost like they force prophecies to happen at a certain time.
It's funny that you mentioned that. You said the word prophecy. You remember
it's in the prophecy.
Well, that's one thing. But do you remember the movie The Prophecy?
Oh fuck yeah,
dude! There's that part where Christopher Walken's trying to look into the kids' mouths for the soul, and then the teacher comes up and is like, "Get away from him, kids!" He's like, "Learn your math, kids. It's the key to the universe." I was like, when I heard him say that, I was like, hey, that sounds like a really nice thing for an angel to say to kids. No, he's probably like, yeah, if you figure out your geometry, kids, you can call forth angels and demons.
Trying to find some footage of that dance where they're actually all right. I didn't click on this. This is something you might want to look up later, but it has what we're talking about with the symbols for Google and everything. Look at this thumbnail for this video that I just pulled up for CERN.
Yeah, okay, there it is.
It's right there. It compares it right, and you would just put it together.
Yeah.
Bing!
Hey, check this one out for Chase Bank. Although this one isn't too hard to see.
Surprised that hasn't been banned.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, for the people listening at home, folks, just at the intersecting lines, just go down about halfway through to each. What is that? A trapezoid? All right, yeah, go about halfway down each trapezoid, and then connect them all in the middle. Tell me what symbol you come up with, kids. When you do that, don't send them to me in my email.
Dude, it's weird though, and the people with so much influence and power that are involved with some of this weird shit, but pretend to preach so much good, making quotation marks. It's like they're trying to preach a good word or something, but But really, they're just trying to dumb everybody else down and take away from everybody else while they keep for themselves.
Oh yeah,
It's weird,
man.
and the fascination with death with some of these people, like, oh, this could really fuck everything up. It's for the greater good. We'll be all right, though. That's a good thing.
We'll be on the moon. Yeah, the meek shall inherit the earth. They didn't say anything about Mars.
But dude, you go down the hole with some of these portals, whatever you want to call them, because it sounds like there's multiple ones. That it's really weird and far-fetched with some of it, to where it's like, whoa. But it's like we got into a little bit of a conversation. Again, it's something I've only looked a little bit into because it was kind of fascinating. Am I saying it right? Nephilim.
Yeah.
Giants. Whatever.
Angel human half-breeds, basically.
Talk like those come out of these, and it's like, what the fuck?
I think the Bible said it was like I said,
They weren't cast to heaven or hell.
No.
But beneath the earth.
But basically what it was the angels came down, took brides, make of that what you will. And then in the Bible it said they took wives and the wives had children. I think it said these were great and terrible men of renown. And then, yeah, like the David and Goliath story, Goliath was supposed to be one of these Nephilim, I think. But yeah, under the ground. They didn't go to heaven or hell. They went underground or whatever. And then, of course, there's those... I've never looked far into them. Once again, another Google News thing. They find giant human bones in South America. You see this guy, he's like using one of those, Jurassic Park broom and trowels, and there's this gigantic human femur in the side of a fucking mountain.
It is weird with that shit, man.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that people hide. And I don't want to say this about any particular government, but let's take what maybe you and I would consider the nicest and fairest government of them all. Our very own government. If you don't
I thought you were going to say the CCP.
Yeah, I'm saying CCP. No, but if you don't think our country would just tactically nuke an area to keep people from in our own country, if you don't think that they would cause some major damage to something.
Oh yeah, and then blame it on somebody else.
Dude, like that chemical spill that happened on that train.
or the ones that control the government make those people that are under them do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It's like, look, you're going to take one for the team. What's going to happen? Well, you're going to die. But don't worry. Your family will be taken care of. You'll be fine. You have to sacrifice yourself to cover this thing up for us, but we'll take care of your wife and your kids and your kids' kids. It wouldn't surprise me if that happens. Or they just lie. Just lie to the guy, say they're going to do it, and they never do it. If his wife looks into it, just fucking pop her too. Why not?
Yeah, man. They don't give a fuck.
Man, that now we can go turn down to some weird conspiracy, like the rabbit hole stuff we're looking at. It's like, come on, man. Look, if I was gonna make, let's say, you know what, Leslie and I, we've been working on. Well, you were working on it too. We all kind of worked on the icon. We just haven't gotten it put up. But if I wanted to make a gigantic swastika with microphones on each hook of the swastika, that's a bad idea. Yeah. Hey, you think anybody would get offended by this? Yes, of course they would. CERN's like, how do you like this symbol? Looks like 3 6s. Yeah, it's cool, right? Yeah, put it on our flag. Put it on our building. Put it on our business cards. Why the fuck not? Why are they doing that?
It's weird, though. It seems like 7's got a certain emphasis on it, too, though. But I feel like that was more associated with good, I guess, in some ways.
I think, man,
I haven't looked as much into it.
I don't know enough about. I don't know enough about the Bible, but I thought that like 7 was supposed to represent perfection or something.
Perfection, or maybe I don't know, a certain kind of zen, a feeling.
Well, there
or
are
something.
there are 7 deadly sins, and there are 7. What were they? Key or prime virtues?
And you know what? This is why.
And even the
I
7
wonder
virtues,
if it's a
that's
positive
bullshit.
thing, because the dude is kind of religious, but he's very spiritual. You've ever heard of Steve Vai, the guitar player? Steve Vai.
Uh-huh.
He was
Yeah.
infatuated with the number 7, and it was like he even had like a compilation of all the songs that were the 7th song on all of his albums.
Mhm.
But they were all generally pretty positive, and I guess you could some ways say emotional songs in some ways. But he kind of put it, but who knows, maybe he's like fooling you too. But it
No,
was
I
weird.
mean-
He was very much like he would put specific songs as the 7th track on his albums. And then he made it blatant when he, like I said, when he put out a compilation of all the 7th songs
Wasn't your amp an amp head?
by him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the ones I used to have. Yeah,
The Legacy? Yeah,
he did
and-
kind of have a mixture of an all-seeing eye
I was
mixed
gonna-
in with a pyramid, so he did
Yeah,
have some of that.
I was gonna say, I was like, well, one, you asked me if I knew who Steve Vai was, and I was like, yeah, I know who he was because one, you were a big fan of him. You were, I mean,
I don't listen to him as much now, but yes, when I was in high school, I was a pretty big
He
fan.
was an awesome
and
guitar
He was
player.
fucking amazing. I saw him.
I mean, he's still alive, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, still standing in front of the fans,
Oh yeah.
the air fans that blow his hair.
Yes. Believe me, I remember when that kind of music was really not popular. I saw him at a place called Jack's in Springfield. I was
that
like
where that
literally
picture
like
was?
right in front of him, huh?
Was that picture? Where he's
Yeah,
playing
where he's
big
playing the heart
Yeah.
guitar, and yeah, there was a girl I was dating at the time. She took all those
okay,
pictures
cool,
and
cool.
stuff.
But yeah, dude, the symbol on there, man, you can see it right on the Legacy amp. There's that big triangle.
Oh, yeah.
And then the eye. It's like an Egyptian eye, So yeah, and yeah, there's. You ever seen You ever seen the dollar bill, man?
You know when they decided to start putting the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill, right?
What, when they changed over? When they
Roosevelt and made that rule in there, like put that.
Did it correlate with anything?
I don't think so. Probably when they went and confiscated everybody's gold.
That's what I was gonna say. Was
Because it was around that same time, because they did do that during the. God damn, that's fucked up.
give us your gold?
It's weird, man. He's looked at as like he's ranked as like the greatest president of all time in terms of stuff done, but he did a lot of fucked up shit though too.
Dude, lots
they
of
all
presidents
did.
did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still though like it's like each president did one more thing that was more fucked up than the last, and each one it's like maybe not each president. Let's say every third president does this new thing that takes a little bit more away from us as Americans.
Mm-hmm. A whole lot of them.
Yeah.
I'll give a pass for adultery because they've all probably done that, I guess.
No.
I mean, Kennedy, I always wondered why everybody made a big deal about Kennedy, but Kennedy seemed like he wanted to do some cool shit. Seemed like he wanted to make certain things better for us in terms of finances.
And how many terms did he run for?
Oh, he was off in his first term.
I know. How long was he the president for?
I think 3 years.
Oh, okay, 3 years.
Yeah, it was most of his term.
It's a good run. Just long enough to, figure out if he's going to be a threat in the next election. All right. Looks like he's going to win. Let's get a guy on that grassy knoll, folks. If that's how they really did it. Probably his Secret Service guy standing right next
we got
to
to
him.
get this guy out of the way. We got LBJ just standing there with his fucking mouth watering, wanting this fucking spot, and he'll do whatever.
Because there was a Secret Service agent in the limousine, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Could you imagine that? Like, the way he was hit with that bullet. And they come up with, like, the magic bullet theory, right? It was probably a Secret Service agent sitting right in the fucking limousine. And he just goes like this. Just, like, right through his jacket. Shoots Kennedy in the head. And then they start talking about magic fucking bullets, and that Secret Service agent's like big shit-eating grin on his face. Yeah, magic bullet, arms crossed. Yeah, magic bullet, grassy knoll.
There were so many theories. I mean, they said there was people that think the driver did it. Then there's people that say that there was like 8 different shooters, and one of them was like in a manhole or something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they all kind of fired at once in some ways.
Didn't they figure it out though?
Huh?
Didn't they figure it out though? Weren't the files released like a year or two ago?
No, not all of them.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm being a smartass again. They were heavily redacted. Some of these people are still agents. Really? How old are the agents that we have fucking knocking around the world? Fucking 80-year-old men. Fucking just living in a fucking shack out in fucking name a country in Russia.
And then they bribe up and comers. Hey, we'll take care of you down the road if you look past this. Head of the CIA at the time that happened. Read my lips. What are you gonna do for me there, brother?
Yeah, exactly. Brother. Which brother, though? Illuminati brother?
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
They were part of
brother,
Skull and Bones.
Freemason brother. Are they all the same? I don't fucking know.
My daddy was a part of Skull and Bones. And so was my daddy. And John Kerry, we're brothers from another mother. We're greater than you. Boy.
Man, I saw this YouTube short where apparently there was like a it sucks, man, because I don't want to tell the story because I don't know the person's name, but apparently they found like some state, I forget what government rank that he was, but they found him, like they came up to him with a camera, motherfucker's asleep in his car with the door wide open and a crack pipe in his hand. And the guy was making the joke who was, putting the YouTube short up. He was like, unbelievable, not even a senator or a congressman yet. Already smoking crack.
Goddamn, dude, we're running through fucking rabbit holes like we're in a goddamn Metroidvania, man. All over them. I mean, it's cool, but we can backtrack.
Well, going back to the the main thing that kind of sparked this particular conversation was you were saying, you mentioned CERN, you mentioned the the black holes and stuff, and then one of the things that kind of got to me that you were talking about was you have a lot of these people, these scientists who claim to be atheists, but then you see some of the stuff that they're involved with either inside or outside of their work. And it's like, okay, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I don't really know about that. It's like, okay, well, you believe in something that can't be explained.
But you're doing these rituals.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
It's fucking weird, man.
You know where I think that comes from? And this is what reminded me of it. You told me about that book, The Magic of Your Mind.
Or The Magic in Your Mind, something like that.
Yeah. You told me about the book. I found it on YouTube, by the way. I found the audio book of it. I sent it to Rick. I was like, hey, man, it's on Audible for money, but you can listen to it for free on YouTube. And he sent me a text message back. It's like, I'm surprised you're sending me a book like this. I was like, you want an even bigger surprise? Jimmy's the one who showed it to me.
Why is it a surprise, though?
Oh, because I don't typically listen to those kinds of books.
I don't either.
But he gives me ideas for those kinds of books all the time. He listens to Alan Watts and all that kind of stuff. But he told me, he was like, yeah, I was, he was, I forget what denomination or whatever, but he was Christian. He went to Bible study. He studied the Bible, and then he got out of that. And then I could read the text message of it, but he went to like New Wave Christianity, New Age philosophy, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism. He went through all these different things just trying to, either continue his religious studies or, whatever, or just trying to find a different way to be or whatever. And as soon as you said that stuff about the scientists, it got me thinking. I was like, I wonder if these people started off in religious families. A lot of people do. My parents went to church. I'm not a particularly religious person. But it seems like if you were an atheist, chances are, like if you're a hardcore atheist, which is a weird, kind of like an oxymoron thing. I believe that there's no God so hard. But you probably were in a very religious household, and then you got out of it. But you tried to find something else. And then you tell yourself you don't really believe in anything, but you still have all those teachings.
Sometimes
from
there's almost
all those
a
different
want.
philosophies.
Like you almost want there to be... Dude, I bounced around with different... My parents never took... My mom actually had to go to Catholic school and stuff like that, you know? But my parents, they never put... We never went to church or did anything like that, but I'd have random friends growing up, like elementary school age and stuff, and they would ask me to go to church or go to some Bible thing with them, some church, and just because they were bringing people, I would go check it out.
Oh, you did?
But
okay.
Yeah, I would. I did it multiple times. And then even when I was older, I knew people, and some of them were Catholics. Dude, my problem is I'd look at the stuff and, you know, you try to find positives, but some of these, especially the big organized ones, especially Catholicism, they contradict themselves. They're hypocrites. It's bullshit with some of the stuff they preach, and it turns people away that genuinely want something to believe in that doesn't seem corrupt and fucked up. But I'm sorry, if it's been around several thousand years and it's only the special people that get to be at the top, and you kind of look at the way they live and the shit that you dig up on them, there's a reason why people get turned away from it. You almost wonder, maybe it's almost like shit was more genuine and pure at the beginning, and then the trash rots it away
Well, no,
when it gets in there. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, and this concept is probably as old as time, but I've heard a lot of it, at least in the past 6 years. I love this phrase, rules for thee, but not for me.
Oh, and that's big time nowadays, man.
There's another YouTuber. Man, I wish I could remember these names because they have very interesting stories. But most people, if you're flipping through YouTube Shorts, you've seen this guy. But he was an Amish. He used to be Amish, and then he left the Amish community. And because he was there for quite some time, he had a lot of information on it. And he said that his father would get shunned a lot for things like having his sleeves rolled up, you know, because he's being too prideful with his sleeves rolled up, right? His father was shunned over and over. When you get shunned, you cannot get any help from the community. You cannot eat with the community, blah, 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 all this different stuff. You're basically banished from the community for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. Then one day, he's driving their buggy or whatever, and he sees the bishop out with his sons, and they're out working in the field. And, well, by golly, the bishop, the guy who shunned his father, has his sleeves rolled up. All right, it's different for the bishop. You get shunned. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You get a little taste of it, and you start fucking trying to put people down, and you don't practice what you preach quite literally.
Yeah.
And it happens everywhere. It happens in Catholicism. It happens in baptism and Amish, and I don't know enough about Hindu, although I have a couple of customers. It's an interesting.
I believe Shiva comes from the Hindu religion.
Yeah. It's weird. I never have enough time to talk to him about it. But like I guess like the some of the Indian my customers who are Indian, they have like this shrine in their house. Like they have just a room has this shrine. They light incense and stuff. Dude, Llama's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps his in the room in the back of the store. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if he's Hindu or Hindi. I don't know what the name of it is. I don't know if that's his religion or if there's other religions that share similar ceremonies.
Some of them probably bounce off one another. Are you trying to say you don't know if he's Hindu or Buddhist?
Yeah, or whatever. But he's probably, you think he's Buddhist because of where he's from?
No. I felt like he was Hindu. Hindu's with the elephant, right? The dancing elephant. If that's what I feel like a piece of shit, man. I wish I knew better.
Hilarious. It's hilarious.
There's certain symbols.
We're trying
I haven't
to be
dove
nice
into
about it.
Hinduism as much, but again, and there's certain religions I believe would refer to that as what, an idol.
Yeah, well, of course.
There's certain ones in particular that really frown upon idols. I
Well,
guess Jesus is considered an idol to certain religions, and so is Muhammad.
You know, it's. I mean,
Both of them are real.
You'll find some like religious scholar who'll come in and school us about that, but it's like no graven images. And maybe there's like more to that, but I just thought like if that's where it ends, it's like why does everybody wear a cross or have a cross in their house with Jesus hanging off of it? Is that a graven image, or is it you can only have graven images of
dude,
Jesus?
there's certain religions that look at it a certain way. I believe in Judaism. I've heard rabbis say that Jesus was a fucking idol and a false prophet, and he's burning in hell, boiling in his own feces, is the words I've heard spoken multiple times by rabbis. There are ones that feel like that. Now I will say I've never heard an imam or anybody of the Muslim faith say that about Jesus. It's weird. It's Judaism that thinks that about Jesus.
I bet you there's some. Well, there probably was some good debates on YouTube. You want to find some good debates that weren't edited or just straight up banned. You probably got to go on like Rumble or BitChute, definitely. Although, folks, I don't know as much about Rumble. If you go on BitChute, find those videos, send us the links. I'd gladly watch them. Also, peruse the comments. Let me know if they're funny or not. Typically, they're very funny or offensive. Very offensive.
There are certain people I've grown accustomed to seeing in the comments. It's like this fucking over the top fucking shit. Like,
you think they're agent provocateur?
Sometimes you gotta wonder. I can't help but laugh at some of them. I have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
but BitChute gets. Woo!
They get, well, it's like, oh, this is the price of freedom of speech, and it's like, is it the price of freedom of speech, or are they just like evil people who just want to spout hateful shit to ruin a business or a company?
There's really good people that seek honest truth on BitChute, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's some crazies, and it's weird because you do have to kind of sort through some of that shit. That line that I said earlier, Mike Pence is a doppelganger, dude. Right?
That's Q shit. I'm.
Oh yeah, well no, the
QAnon shit is like way over the top, dude, man.
When it was, they hadn't done, inauguration. I think that's what it was. They hadn't done it yet. They hadn't did the official count of all the states or whatever and who voted for Biden or Trump. And, dude, the shit that was getting spouted off, and I know that there's a couple of names on there that you like. I wanted to say that some of these people, like X-22 Report, Sergeant Major.
That dude, now, Sergeant Major,
I don't know.
He reposts other people's shit constantly.
Yeah, and that,
he's not linked to anything. Sometimes it's like, all right, dude, maybe you ought to peruse your shit a little bit more.
And maybe I'm wrong about the Sergeant Major one, and maybe I'm even wrong about X-22 Report. Like I said, I was just listening to a lot of just different crazy shit. Mike Pence is a doppelganger. The real Mike Pence was taken to Guantanamo Bay and summarily executed for treason.
Yeah, dude, did you hear the shit that Q was putting out there? A buddy of mine came to me. He was like, talking. It was when COVID was first getting going, and they were starting to lock down everything. And he was like, "Yeah, man, a buddy of mine. He used to work with the government. I believe this dude. He's saying Trump's going to go ahead and lock it down, and it's a reason they're finally going to arrest Hillary and everybody else." I was like, "Dude, ask him if this is Q or QAnon shit. That ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen." all these people have done fucked up shit. While they're at it, if they're going to do that, arrest W2 for mass murder. There's a whole bunch of them. Just round them all up. It's not going to happen. It's not what's going to happen. It's the crazy, outlandish shit.
It's bananas.
Way out there, dude, and these people would believe it.
It's fine if you take it as what it is. Science fiction.
There's no ounce of proof, no evidence. There are things you see that people try to shoot down where there's like blatant evidence right in front of your face. Yeah. There's news footage when they were pretty much telling you of certain events. And then later on, they're like, oh, all right, we need to not talk about this anymore. So they just don't talk about it and then pull down shit. But luckily enough, people like record stuff and news broadcasts.
Yeah, but even then, though.
Not going to say certain events, but it's something we could get into down the road. There's a lot of that out there.
Oh man.
There's a lot of blatant proof for fucked up shit out there, and nothing has ever been done about it.
And man, I've told you about this before. One of my main things where I won't take anybody seriously. If I hear them shucking for fucking gold, I won't listen to them anymore. Dude, I mean, on BitChute, on YouTube, Fox News, dude.
There is a lot, though, man.
Glenn Beck used to fucking huck for that shit.
Gold.
Dude.
You need to. He always gets real close. Gold.
Diversify.
You
your
have
portfolio.
to diversify your portfolio. There's only so much time. I'm telling you, buy gold or silver.
And then he
whoa.
He used to say
gold.
He used to say that. Like, he said that for like 2 years, and then it kind of shifted up. Like, if you don't have the money for this, you should not be buying gold. You should be buying blankets, and you should be buying, like, long-term storable food. And then, like, a couple months later, he starts, like, fucking hucking for, like, Patriot Supply or some shit like that.
With the gold, selling gold and all that, the amount of people that have done it, are you surprised nobody's ever tried to secure the rights and have, like, Cornelius from fucking Rudolph do, like, the ads for that, like somebody talking like Cornelius, you know, the miner from Rudolph, silver and gold.
Oh shit! Okay, I was like Cornelius Rudolph.
That's gold.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But yeah, dude, the people. Oh man, this is we've gone like on a lot of different tangents.
I know.
Here. No, it's fine because I don't really think that there needs to be like a main theme, especially for this episode. I liked all the stuff we were talking about.
Venture back to some of them.
But it's very weird because we went from it all connects, but we went from like these very scary things that could or could not be happening to the very scary things that are very much so happening. And then and then to the people who are trying to fucking just drain every fucking penny you've got to sell you gold, to sell you storable food, to sell bullets, to sell guns. Dude, there's these people. I like bushcrafting videos, man. I like the idea of going out in the woods. I like camping. I like being able to make stuff out of fucking stuff that's out there. And you go on these bushcrafting videos, man, and you've got people like Dave Canterbury. I can't remember the guy's name, but his fucking channel is called Canadian Prepper. Dude, you've seen him.
Oh,
every single Canadian
That's
Prepper
all
video.
It's about.
The world's gonna end. Well, 6 months ago, but it's going to end in another 6 months unless you buy my thermal blankets and my $700 backpack and my first aid kit. That's another $800, but it attaches to the backpack. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
And it lasts for 25 years. That's a quarter century.
Get the fuck out of here, you weird bald fuck who cannot pronounce an H.
Is that the same dude? No, it's a different kind of prepper.
Oh, there's tons.
Yeah, but there's another one where it's like a father and son that do shit together too, I think. I don't know. Either that or that's Canadian Prepper and he had his father on. I can't remember. There's a whole bunch, but it's a lot of the same stuff, man. And dude, I get having shit around. to a point, but goddamn, the amount of money, man, it's hard.
No, and that's the thing too.
I couldn't do it like that.
It's
Don't
like-
get me wrong. I like to save canned goods and shit. That shit lasts.
Well,
Extra
and,
little shit.
dude.
You just do what you can.
The 25-year food. It doesn't hurt to maybe spend like $150, $100.
Yeah.
Get one of those 5-gallon buckets. Just throw it in your closet, man. And people are, dude. I used to do that. I was doing that a little bit during the fucking COVID scare.
Yeah, I did it with canned goods. So.
Yeah, I mean, I bought rice, I bought sugar,
Yeah.
I bought honey, I bought spices, forever foods. But even before that,
Well, I will say I was glad I stocked up a little bit, just because of how much everything costs now.
well, I gotta tell you, you need to eat some of that fucking
I know.
rice. I opened up the cabinet this morning. That's a fucking big ass bag of rice.
I
got in
know
there.
the rice, but the tuna's still kicking ass. I got a lot of time on the tuna, but I am gonna have some of that. Got a shit ton of tuna.
But no, dude, I bought this food. Some of it I was like, look, I've got an emergency food supply. How long is it gonna last me? Maybe a week. It was like, yeah, Ryan over here preparing for the end of the world. I was like, I'm not really preparing for the end of the world, but we got that ice storm 2 years ago. I might have even said this in this room. So if it's happened, once again, folks, if you heard me say it, fucking comment. Jesus Christ, folks. And like and subscribe.
Dude,
Unless you're
that
already
shit came in
subscribed.
handy
All 12
for
of
that
you.
ice storm. I didn't have to prep for shit. That shit hit me by surprise, but I was always stocked on. I even had an extra stock of dog food and stuff
yeah.
like that for Molly and stuff. I was like, well, I got all this canned food, plenty of water if I need extra water.
Yeah, but do you need a little turbine generator that you can fucking dunk into a creek and the water flow will charge up your cell phone? No, you don't fucking need that. Do you need an $800 fucking backpack? No. Do you need a $150 bushcraft knife? No.
A generator would have been nice. But,
A generator, you know what? Yeah, a generator to keep the fucking luxuries that you already do have running, or at least keep your refrigerator running so
that
your
was the
fucking
big
shit
one.
doesn't get spoiled. But hey, refrigerator to some people is a luxury. Yeah, it's just everybody was just everybody was. Oh man, they didn't even have to go on YouTube. Remember going into the gas stations? Fucking a fucking like cloth medical mask, $4.99. I would see those things getting sold for.
Oh yeah, dude, they jacked that shit up like a dude's like fucking Starbucks selling water in New York during 9/11. $5 in 2001 for a fucking bottle of water. You think you're at Nissan Pavilion or Jiffy Lube Live, some shit like that.
And I gotta tell you this is pissing me off. Leslie's got the 3D printer. We were gonna try and do some printing. We didn't look at all the things that we needed to do it. The last part of the process is you got to wash and cure the print. I was like, okay, what do you wash it with? 90% isopropyl alcohol. Cool. Any drugstore. Drugstores, convenience stores, Dollar Generals. Can't find it. 90%, 70%. Can't fucking find it.
Even the 70?
I found 70 in a Food Lion, but I don't need 70. We need 90.
Yeah.
But
I'll
no.
have to ask Mike where he got his.
Well, she just ordered it off Amazon. But here's what I'm thinking.
I was actually going to bring that up.
Here's one of the
Sucks,
two
they have
things.
Everything.
There's only two things it could possibly be.
Doesn't Amazon have a swoosh?
I'll give you the least likely scenario first. There are a lot of people in our area that have started 3D printing and they're buying up the alcohol. Or scenario 2. Everybody's buying up the 90% fucking alcohol so they can do the exact same thing they did for the past 2 fucking years and still got the flu, still got the cold, still got fucking COVID. Stop buying stupid shit. You're going to wipe down all your fucking doorknobs? Congratulations. How many doorknobs were you touching before you got sick? 3 or 4? A day? Maybe 10. Okay, so you went around your house wiping down every fucking doorknob and touching every fucking railing with a goddamn cloth? What were you doing with that cloth? How long did you wait for the alcohol? Did it just evaporate? these people fucking infuriate me because there's real world uses for it besides alleviating your
It would
stupid
surprise me
fucking
if
hypochondriac brain.
if a bunch of those people that were so paranoid about wiping all that shit down, they were thinking about that so much they just completely forgot to wash their hands after they took a shit or something.
Oh yeah. I guarantee you. Yeah, they're scared to death to touch a fucking elevator button. But they'll fucking run their fucking finger down in their fucking butthole and fucking scratch a fucking boil and then fucking go and scratch their eye and go, I got pink eye. I must have got it from that Taco Bell I went into. It's like, just because you're a disgusting motherfucker and you're a hypochondriac and you're still going to get sick and you're stupid for buying up all the alcohol that has real world uses. You're just wasting it. It's stupid. It's like using beer to mop a floor. Doesn't work, and you're just wasting beer. I kept seeing on the things for the 3D printing, the do's and don'ts of 3D printing. Don't do this, you're going to waste all your resin. Don't do this, you're going to waste all your IPA. I'm like, IPA? Isopropyl alcohol. I was like, IPA, that's not 90%, that's barely even 12.
And it tastes disgusting. Personal opinion.
Oh, yeah. I love that. There's a stand-up comedian, I believe it was P.F. Tompkins, talking about Old Crow. And he was asking the crowd, said, have you ever had Old Crow? And he was like, no answer. He's like, well, have you ever, accidentally sprayed hairspray in your mouth? Yeah? Okay, well, then you've had Old Crow. Well, for me, it's like, yeah, have you ever had IPA? No, you never have. You ever just sucked on a fucking Sharpie marker? Oh, well, then you've had IPA. Spraying your mouth with hairspray is a little bit more realistic than purposely sucking on a Sharpie, but IPAs taste the way Sharpies smell. I don't like IPAs. Sorry, hipsters.
No, they're pretty gross.
If you want to get fucked up, that's fine. Just buy whiskey. Don't say that you don't like the taste of whiskey. You're drinking turd beer. Man, we really went off on that one.
Turd beer?
We're just from fucking CERN to IPAs. You know what? India Pale Ale. Bring it all back around.
Do the dance of destruction.
Yeah, drink a bunch of IPAs and, I don't know, maybe go to a Lego store.
Build a portal.
build a Stargate out of Legos.
Then take a trip to another dimension. We shall go there. Perhaps next time we'll venture down further into random rabbit holes.
Perhaps next time.
Meh.
Previously on Partlodio Podcast. Damn it, I'm interrupting the fucking fade.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Oh yeah, we can start doing that now.
What's that?
That's a we can start doing the Mickey Mouse voice. They took him off of he's public domain now.
Really? Fuck you, Goofy.
Oh shit, he might not be public domain.
Shit.
We're gonna get sued. Oh yeah, by the way, look at the Disney logo, folks. There's 3 6s in that as well.
Until next time.
Look at the curls and the letters. All right, folks.